All right, so now we need to export our icons. And so there's only going to be 6. There's a lot happening here, but actually a lot of it can be achieved without actually using assets that we have to export. And Vivs, of course, will help you understand that process once you get to Android Studio. So for the 6 that we need to do, basically that's the logo right here, the background. We also have this little drop icon. We have this plus icon. And we also have this checkbox and then this little X. All right, so that's basically 6, pretty simple. So let's just start over here on the first activity, and we'll start with this logo or symbolism right here. So first thing, we can notice that it is a rastered layer. It's not a shape layer or anything like that. What we want to do is right click and choose quick export, or not quick export, sorry, export as. And this is going to load up this nice little export panel, which is relatively new. What's very handy is this section over here. Now I've gone through here previously and added these different sizes, but it's very simple. If all you have to do is basically click this plus sign, and it's going to let you specify different sizes for each one of these. So keep on basically clicking on this plus here until you have all of these values matching. All you have to do is just change the size and these automatically update. But basically the purpose of these is basically saying we want to take this asset and we want to export this here as just the size that it currently is, and this will be in the XXX HDPI folder. And then we want to scale it down by 75%, 50%, 33%, and 25%. And these are all the proportions that you have to scale down assets for Android when you're dealing with those different resolutions. All right, so once you have those ready to go, all we have to do is hit Export All. And I'm going to create a new folder. We'll call this Assets. And we'll go ahead and just give this the name of this right here. We'll give it a logo. So we're going to hit Export. Oops, 1 second. Just click up here on Assets, hit Export, and it's going to bring up our folder here with all of our sizes. So they look the same size, but they're smaller. So this one, this is 462 by 456. This largest one, if I hover over, is much bigger. So 616 by 608. So the very smallest, of course, is 154 by 152. Okay, so what we'll have to do afterwards, after exporting all of these assets, is rename these, and we'll have to create the different folders as well, which I'll worry about after we actually export them, all the assets. All right, so now here's the thing. If you do not have access to the latest version of Photoshop CC, you're not going to be able to use that feature, the right click and export as. If that's the case, all you're going to have to do is manually hit, if you have the gradient that's applied to it, right click and choose Rasterize Layer Style and hit Control A, Control C, Control N for a new document, hit OK, and then paste it in there with Control V. Hide the background layer so it's transparent, and then go to File, Export, and you can use Save for Web that's showing off my screen. And when you do that, you can specify PNG 24 with transparency enabled, and then hit Save. This would be your XXX HDPI size. Then, if you want to save for the other options, for the other folders, you'll have to go ahead and Save for Web again, and this will come up, this dialog, and this time you're going to want to scale it down by 75%. This will be your XX HDPI size, and hit Save. And then what you'll do is go ahead, once you save it, you're going to go ahead and Save for Web again, and make sure you're PNG 24, and the next time you're going to hit 50%, and that's going to be in your X HDPI, and then finally 33%, and then 25%. So that's how you'll have to do it manually. It's not as fast, obviously, but you have to do what you have to do if you don't have the latest version of Photoshop. Okay, so now let's continue on. We're going to go ahead and do real quickly, I'm going to back up a few times because I didn't want there we go. Okay, so now we're going to export the background. All right, so let's go ahead and just Control left click, and we'll select this as layer 1, and then we have BG. We could take both of those, hit Control E, and it'll merge them onto one layer. Now we can go ahead and right click, export as, and export all. Wait 1 second, I want to see what's going on down there. That should not be a problem. We'll see. And then choose assets and export. Okay. Then we will continue on with our next asset, which is this little drop right there. We'll select the layer, and that's drop. So right click, export as, and export all, assets, export. We'll take the plus. We're going to merge these layers, make sure they're just one layer here. Control E, rename this to plus. Actually make life a little bit simpler. We'll just put in IC plus, and then export as. Oh, 1 second. One thing about these icons right here, we don't want to export them exactly as the exact dimensions that it currently is. We want to make sure it's within 128 by 128. So the way to do this is we will right click, rasterize the layer, Control A, and then Control C, and then go to File, New, and we're going to choose 128 by 128, and then paste it, Control V, and then hide the background. And now we can simply right click the layer, export as, and unfortunately it looks like we're not going to be able to do this. Let's see if we can. Yeah, right here under canvas size 128. That previous step may have been unnecessary, but that's okay. 128 by 128 for canvas size, and we've kind of lost here. I'm kind of glad this happened, that we can add these real quick. All right, so we have 0.5, we have 75, we have 25, and then 2x can be changed to, let's see, 33. All right, that's good. Okay, so now we'll just go ahead and put in export all. I've chosen the assets folder, and we'll hit export. Okay, and then we just have a couple more here, and that will be this little X right here. And all I have to do is right click and export as, and leave this the same, export, export, and then finally this check mark. And let's see here, let's make sure we get this selected. Call this IC check, right click, export as, export all, export, and now this is our folder that we have where we have all the different sizes here. Okay, so basically in the next lessons when we're going to take all of these and get them situated in the appropriate names as well as folders. All right, so I'll see you then.